And so he has the guy go to a deep sleep, yoinks out one of his ribs, makes a woman out of it.
Mhm.
Ladies, you're made of a dude rib. I want my baby back.
Hmm.
So you told me last time after we recorded about the pumpkin incident. Would you mind telling me that again? Because I was thinking about that at work today. That's really funny.
Yeah, sure. After we and many, like I'd say like 60-70% of the congregation at the time left the church because they kicked out a queer couple. We went back like 3 years later because we wanted to buy a pumpkin, and that was their thing. I think some churches do Christmas trees, some do pumpkins, some do like bake sales. We like only did pumpkins, and so we went back, and I know the family's name. I'm obviously not going to say it, but me and my dad get in the car. We go to buy a pumpkin from our old church, and they go, look who's here. And my dad's like, yeah, well, we already picked one out, so we'd love to pay for it. And you go, yeah, I bet you would, wouldn't you? You'd love to buy a pumpkin from us, wouldn't you? And my dad's like, what is happening right now? Like, what's going on? And they don't want us to buy a pumpkin from them. And I remember getting back in the car with my dad and him being like blown away that could have happened. And I guess if that's how you feel, your dignity is worth $9, I'm sure. Like, that makes sense to me, I guess, when it comes down to it.
I just love the seriousness of it. Like, you're banned, but it's from the thing you need really the least is a pumpkin.
And it's y'all's one thing.
You don't want to sell these?
It's only...
You don't want to just make some money off of a heathen?
Exactly. That's part of it too. Is like,
damn, you're really confident on the future of this pumpkin business.
We know you guys are not doing well.
You're hurting for these pumpkin dollars.
I don't want to look it up. I don't think they're around anymore.
Damn.
To be honest, they had a lot of real estate. I will say a lot of.
That was a big place.
It was the parking lot was way too big for the church.
Churches love a parking lot.
They really do. But
it's like Age of Empires when you turn the archery into like level 2. Churches love doing like up to 2, 3. It's like, oh damn, there's a lot of parking for it's really for I don't know, Easter.
Ideally, it's for selling Christmas trees in my mind, but I don't think they did that. I think they just did pumpkins.
Just pumpkins. They were. Look, some people run from the pumpkin grind. Some embrace it.
Right, and you do need an inn, I imagine, for Christmas. Like, how else are you?
Yeah, someone's got to sell you those seeds. A little seed money.
And you got to have patience.
You can't just go to the existing Christmas tree farm with a little Ziploc and just elbow some trees. And try to get Sir, what's in the bag? What's up? No, I was just looking. I didn't see anything I like, so I'm heading back. That's the one store.
I don't currently belong to a church, so I don't know what you want from me.
Dude, a Christmas tree farm is the one place you gotta buy one. There's 0% chance you're walking out of there with that. Especially if it's like a whole field kind of thing. You're just like, can we go somewhere else? Like, what? None of them?
You didn't find anything you liked? Yeah. Although, have you tried late? Have you tried to find a Christmas tree December 20th?
It's true.
I want to say we walked out of a Home Depot or something because you could only go the Charlie Brown route, and I think my parents are still a little too proud to do that.
That's a great scene. You want to do a parent trying to talk their kid into the Charlie Brown tree at Home Depot?
Good time. Oh, okay. Look at this guy.
I'm gonna shoot I can shoot like Steph Curry.
Buddy, look at this guy. Look at this tree.
Steph Curry. What?
No, but look at this tree. You know what? Funny enough, it's almost 6'3", Steph Curry's height. It's almost 6'3".
That's not 6. I'm not good at counting, but that's not 6'3".
That's what it says it's closer to 4'8", but I'm saying it's almost your favorite player's height.
None of the guys in the league are 4'8". I need a tree that could at least feasibly be in the league.
Son,
who's the shortest guy in the league right now? 5'11", maybe?
Yeah. It's probably PJ Tucker at 5'8" or something.
PJ Tucker's the shortest guy?
Yeah, he's probably the shortest guy. He's also the oldest guy in the league right now. It's second to LeBron. But
it's also an NBA podcast.
Son.
Folks, it's Only Smokes where we smoke weed and tell Bible stories. I'm Scoochie Boochie. Will is here once again. Welcome back.
Oh, thanks so much for having me. I had so much fun last time.
I think I made it through most of Genesis 1, and you did an amazing... was it Elijah or Elisha?
I touched on them both, and of course I'm going to revisit
Hell yeah.
one, if not both, this time as well.
Yes, good. All right, let's cast lots, see who's going first. I accidentally hit the story lamp. That's a misfire. Ignore that. It's not story time yet. We got to see who's going first. I rolled a 2. A 4. All right,
That's
after
great.
you. I'm going to light the lamp. After you.
From what I remember of last time we visited Elijah and Elisha, I was kind of appalled by the taunting.
Yeah.
That there seemed to be a lot of
It was like wilding out.
Yeah, but there seems to be a lot of righteous taunting where if you know you're on the right side and someone doesn't know the correctness, it's okay to taunt them.
You got to stunt on them a little bit.
Right. So I kind of found another passage that interests me because Elijah is a prophet and he's like a good one, right? I mean, he's one of the good. I mean, not that there's good and bad ones, but
Oh yeah, he's Hall of Fame for sure.
Okay.
I'd say he's probably. Damn, you might be top 10.
So this is
Elijah.
this is I believe Elijah J. And this is he's run into a king, Jehoram.
Sure, I don't know how to pronounce a lot of those.
Love that. We're gonna go with that, even though it sounds wrong.
Dude, that's such a church experience to sit there and be like, and Japheth, kind of look around like, well, no one in the building knows how to pronounce that, so I just can't really get it wrong.
Were you doing a lot of reading out loud in?
Sometimes, yeah. Even before road trips, just with my fam and stuff, pretty
just
regular.
reading from the Bible
It's
in the car.
A traveling psalm is one of them. It's like, hey, let's not crash on 81. I don't know what.
What is it? Do you remember it?
Not off top. No. As soon as I heard it, I would know some lines of it. That kind of thing. But
I know love is patient, love is kind.
There you go.
And that's not even being from real
It
weddings.
was
That's from
Corinthians.
watching TV weddings. That's all you need.
Oh, really?
For that one, yes. Okay, so back to Elijah.
Please.
Elijah's having a run-in with Jehoram, a king, who he doesn't believe to be a rightful king, or really in any regard. And that king has received a letter from Elijah, the prophet, which states, "This is what the Lord, the God of your father David, says." So he's leaving a letter, but he's letting you know that it's a quoted letter.
Okay.
This is God talking through me. I'm writing this letter.
Gotcha.
You have not walked in the ways of our father, Jehoshaphat, or the Asa king of Judah, but you have led Judah and the people of Jerusalem to prostitute themselves, just as the house of Ahab did. Pardon me.
I was like, I think I remember that one.
Those H and B's, especially in this font, especially.
You had an aha moment.
I have no excuses.
Dude, honestly, it's hard to read high, dude. This tiny book. Before this, I was like, can I read?
You have also murdered your own brothers, members of your family house.
There's going to be a lot of this where, when we get back into it, it's such a stark transition from, so the blood spilled.
Yeah, this is still God's word,
yes.
Speaking to this in a letter form to this king, saying that you have prostituted yourself.
Yeah.
You have also murdered your own brothers, members of your father's house, men who were better than you. That's right there. That's that seems needlessly. I think petty is wrong, but I'll say it.
Yeah, no, it would get on Wild and Out.
Really would. You've mentioned Wild and Out a couple of times.
I think it's the best way
I think it's a good, yeah. So now the Lord is about to strike you, your people. He's about to do this. So this is actually a warning shot here, or a warning letter. So now the Lord is about to strike you and your people, your sons, your wives, and everything that is yours with a heavy blow. You yourself will be very ill with a lingering disease of the bowels. Until the disease causes your bowels to come out.
Oh. No. You never poop your pooper into the bowl. That's what you need for it to poop.
And I'll just cut ahead because we find out it takes long. In the course of time, at the end of the second year, his bowels came out because of the disease. And he died in great pain.
Well, what is pooping it out if it's pooping out the pooper? How's that even? Oh,
It's the machine itself. I mean, isn't it just like if there's a water slide and there's a tornado happening, instead of sucking kids out of the slide into the tornado, the slide is then detached from the earth, and now the slide is whirling the tornado. I think that's pretty apt actually for what we're talking about here.
So I think I got lost. One more time.
So there's a tornado right outside Whitewater. Whitewater is a water park in Atlanta.
Why is it gotta be a specific one? I don't think that helps.
That's what I'm saying. Why is it so specific? That's what I'm saying.
I think that's actually a thing they do a lot. Is it's like it's all specific. So when you read it, you're like, this is the record of what happened.
This must have been what happened.
It's because why else would they say like exactly how much barley got molested or whatever?
Okay, that's actually a great point because my question to you was about to be like, why does it matter that it's at the second year that he died? Like, why did he have to endure 2 years of the disease to die? And why couldn't it have been more? If that's the point.
Yeah, that's just how it happened. 2 years. 2
seems pretty easy if your intent was to cause him horrible suffering for the rest of his life.
You're saying they could have gone harder.
If you wanted to. 2 seems arbitrary, except if you're trying to, not trying, except if you're making it real.
Nice, good lightning dodge.
Thank you. Good lightning dodge. Okay, here we go. So after that was the message, your bowels are going to come out. Message received. Letter over.
There's a storm brewing.
Yeah.
That's how it ends?
I mean, there's no like...
And your ass is going to fall off.
There's no hyphen God or hyphen Elijah for that matter. It's just the message ends.
He dropped that ass to the floor.
The Lord then aroused against Jehoram the hostility of the Philistines who lived near his house. They attacked him.
Is that how it's phrased? His house?
No.
And they were.
But I'm getting the sense as I'm reading it more. I'm getting the language down.
The Philistines, they're never too far away in the Old Testament. They're right around the corner.
He's arousing anger in other men to then come attack the king, invade and carry off all the goods found in the king's palace, and also, kill all the sons and wives. Not a son was left except for the youngest, who we have to imagine was lame. Like
he was hitting his Fortnite emotes.
Whatever equivalent to that, because I can't imagine why they would bother leaving him unless they were like, what a punishment it'd be, right? If he still had to raise this kid. I mean, imagine, right?
The worst thing we could do. You're saying they could not have possibly gone harder than to leave their shittiest son.
Yes. Or what's worse than taking everything from you, but you still aren't totally free of responsibility? You're still you still gotta put food on the table.
And I gotta take him to school tomorrow.
And I got a mouth to feed.
Come on, dude. I was thinking now that's a clean slate. That's a fresh start right there.
No.
Everybody,
all wives and sons. And I mean, I guess there were no daughters. There's literally no mention of them at all.
They're not really in the head count a lot of times.
But boy, if we leave one of the squirreliest little boys for you to have to take care of, and you're not gonna like it.
What emotes did they actually have in Bible times? You could do like the slingshot, or like. I'm still on Fortnite emotes.
Yeah, okay.
That's like 8 things ago.
I mean, when you really there's no way.
Shepherd.
I would love to see all the instances where the human body discovered the floss over the course of time.
You mean
doing the motion of the floss, absolutely 1300s kids were like, this looks funny.
What was the earliest floss in history?
Yeah, and it through time, because it's not important enough to stay in culture. It's not.
You really think it's that old?
I
don't feel like it's that intuitive or whatever. You think they had it?
I think jesters for sure. Jesters were sitting at home coming up with all kinds of shit to do with their bodies. That's is this even a little bit entertaining to look at? That's all they had to do. The bar was
you're
so low.
You're paid. You're almost like a traveling comedian in those days. You come in and you literally just have a pig's bladder inflated and then floss for a bit, and they're like, "Oh my god, somebody suck him!"
Dude, I feel that move is on par with the crossing your knees and doing your hands over your knees to make it look like they're crossing.
Yeah. They did that in Singing in the Rain. We watched that the other night, and I was thinking was it popular at this point, or did Singing in the Rain kind of bring it to prominence? The little knee crossy one.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like your body, it's not. Our bodies aren't language. Like I mean, maybe I don't mean to disperse. I don't actually mean to disperse dance at all. But like, I don't know, 26 letters. We only have 4 appendages. Like,
it's a lot of combinations.
There's a lot of combinations of words. There's not that many combinations of movements. I feel like.
Yeah.
I mean, in a sequence, absolutely. But like when it comes down to like the bare bones of like I move my hand here, like people have done that. People have tried everything.
They've been flipping birds for centuries. Yeah. They've been one of these. That's been.
They've been doing this shit for years. turning that in.
That's my question. Is like, what's some of the oldest ones that have been around since Bible times? Like, do you think they'd be like? I mean, this I feel like is day one.
Oh yeah, that's day one.
This is like
at birds, at anything you could look at. Yeah,
you get that emote for free, just like that. But then I feel like I wonder what the first like one of these was, like a fuck you jerk off hand signal. Like,
wow.
First of all, it's definitely after the invention of jacking it, which that's day one also. I feel like
that's day one,
which actually connects to mine. But I think you got to finish your story.
Are you going back to Genesis?
I'm just picking up right where I left off because we barely got anywhere.
You're right, but I do think that like big fist pump. I think thumbs up probably meant plenty of things throughout history, and we've just kind of landed on recently. Like, it's good, whatever, great. I mean, this means I didn't mean to do it, but like that's a hate symbol now.
But
there's also a game.
What's the ball punch?
Yeah,
you get punched.
Ball punch. Wow, me and my dad played it. We just
you just try to get to look
shoulders.
At it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh yeah, you look at it and then you get a little shoulder punch. I mean, it was on Malcolm in the Middle. Like, I think that's where we learned it from.
I don't think we actually punched each other in the balls. I don't know why I called it that. There was like you did like safety and doorknob, right?
Yes.
And
I didn't like that one. I didn't. Farts weren't my favorite thing growing up. I didn't care.
Whereas now that you matured, you're a big fan. Or?
No.
It's like wine, where it's like when I was a kid, I had to sip and I'm like, yuck. But now that I'm 29, out the
now it's like, yeah. I mean, honestly, you can hit me with a good one sometimes and all.
I can't believe his ass fell out.
His ass fell out. He. It says it twice.
He dropped that ass twice.
Until the disease causes your bowels to come out.
Man, I've had some shits in my day, but I've never shat my shitter.
Yeah, the slide's never detached. But if you're a king that's doing all the wrong things, if you're killing men that are better than you, I guess that too is like, maybe that's like, I didn't realize that men were better than other men.
That's true. He's got him ranked. Yeah, the OT god is different from like NT. Like, he's a lot more like, kind of like old school like Norse mythology and stuff, where like Zeus and shit, where they're getting pissed all the time. They're like, I didn't want you to do that. Now I gotta crush this one. This one's going in shipwreck. It's more like involved and like, oh, fuck you, no. And then like New Testament, he's just like gonna get rich and get into Buddhism a little bit. Just like, now I have a garden, so I'm chill.
I guess that makes sense because I don't know. There's so much to do. If you're him, there's so much to do.
It's funny that the framework you're looking at it is not like whether it's true or not, or whether it's like meaningful to me. It's just like, well, how would I would have done it differently.
I guess, yeah, because I guess I'm trying to personalize.
How about how would you do it? Let's say here, let's do a scene that's you delivering the letter of like bad news. I've been the bad king. How would you send the punishment? So I've been the worst.
Great, yeah. So you open up a letter and I'll narrate said letter.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, I'll be back in a minute, guys. I love doing weed and having 4 or 5 burgers every night. Oh, a letter. Cool. I'll pop this bad boy open.
This letter was delivered to you by my friend, Nave. He has delivered it, and this is my word. Begin quote. You have absolutely no clue what's going on, do you?
What the fuck?
Like no idea.
Yeah, one second, guys. What the hell?
I've been trying to be like very clear about this, and you kind of have a position of power with these people, right? So, which is why I need to talk to you, because if you're going to be a king of any kind, I'm kind of in charge of you. Do you understand that? Because I'm the king of kings. So what's going to happen is this: you have betrayed so far from me that you're irredeemable. You've killed people that would be great servants for me, and you're not going to be a great servant for me, and I realize that. So what's going to happen is all your stuff's gone now. You just read that the word now. Look around, buddy. It's gone. Yeah, it's all gone.
Guys?
The next word you're going to read is... And right at this point, I know he's going to throw the letter down, so another letter emerges, like, in his hands.
Chest burst.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Perfect. Because, again, I know what's going to happen. I know everything. Have you seen that... Sorry. Have you seen that episode of Futurama where Bender is flying through space and he meets God while he's flying through space? And he's asking God questions. And God is just like these like stars that are like glimmering. It's like a big voice talking. And Bender says, if you're God, do you know everything that's going to happen? And God says yes. And he goes, do you know everything that's going to happen before it happens? And God says yes. And he goes, well, what if I do something different? Then I don't know that. I think about that a lot.
Damn.
Because... Again, if God knows what's going to happen, I think he can play with that more.
Yeah.
I think he didn't have to correct so many issues. I mean, like, you know, aside from the fact that this guy even strayed in the first place, like, you know,
I wonder if it's a little bit of like a sophomore slump sort of thing where like you have your whole life to make your first album and then a year to make your second one, where maybe earlier in the Bible, God is dishing out like like the plagues, dude, classic. Yeah. His punishment game was like, that's his like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which is kind of the like plagues of albums. It's awe-inspiring, but like, wow.
It's good though.
It's good. That's good though. That was his, dude, God punishments as Kanye albums.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good. It's a music podcast as well.
That sounds exactly like an album he would put out. God's Punishments.
Dude, I was by the McDonald's at Navy Pier, like Tourist Central, and just killing time. And on the patio outside, they were playing his like gospel album, like Hallelujah, Hallelujah, and like I gotta be the chosen or whatever. And I was like, who's got the ox at the McDonald's patio right now? This is crazy for a few reasons.
More if every business gave the aux to their employees, brick and mortar would come back, I swear.
Dude, we have the aux. That is the nice thing about my job. We play pretty good stuff.
You got the aux at a clothing store?
Yeah. Wow. The iPad stuff. It was funny. Someone played Sufjan today. It was like it's closing down. So it's just like a few coats scattered here and there. It looks really empty. It's just like, falling waters of my life. It was like really sad. It's like, he said prophecy like 4 or 5 times. And I was like, this is a weird feeling to like look at coats, dude.
I think of clothing stores as some of the most regulated in terms of like how they want you to feel.
That's what sucks about, and this will come out well after the gun, but Moose Jaw, I worked there for like 4 months, and I just slowly realized like, damn, wait, was this a good company? Like, I'm just not used to seeing that. It's like seeing a bison. You're like, they still have those? Right. Like, the people like cared, and if we didn't have it, we would just tell them to go somewhere else, and like would try to help them with like detailed recommendations on shit. Like, I didn't know anything, but like I'd see them be like, I can fix your skis, it's fine, like that kind of shit. And people loved it. Like, people would come by and said like a lot of emotional like goodbye, not like emotional, but like, we're gonna miss you guys, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good scene. Can we do man crying inside of a clothing store because it's closing?
Absolutely. And who do you want to be?
I want to cry, man. Because this place, it's been here. When did you guys move here? 07? 08?
I mean, I started working like 8-9 months ago, but...
Yeah, I came in here. There was just, does the guy with the mutton chops still work here? Luke, tall Luke?
Yeah, it's off dated. Or actually, I don't think he's coming in actually for the close.
God, I love that guy, man. One time I came in here, I just bought this polo, and the button popped off. And I came right back in. I was like, look, I'm sorry. I know, like, I just know, I don't know what the return policy is. And he just gave me a brand new shirt.
A whole new shirt?
Hey, if you guys go away, why would I even come to this strip? It's GameStop, Subway. I don't game. I don't eat sandwiches. I'm not to think about me as a person. I don't eat sandwiches.
Wait, I'm sorry. You don't eat sandwiches?
Not my thing. I hate sandwiches. I hate them.
Do you like a charcuterie board?
Yes,
that's the opposite of a sandwich.
Course. Okay. I love meat. I love cheese. Mm-hmm. It's when you put any of that shit between bread.
Sir, can I offer you maybe like a, I don't want to insult you or anything, but do you want to help us move some boxes out?
Do they have the name Gap on it?
Yeah. Yeah, better believe they do.
If you would like to help keep Holy Smokes going, here's some ways you can help. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit subscribe, drop us a comment, drop us a like. If you listen in on Spotify, hit follow so you never miss an episode. Maybe leave us a review. If you really, really don't want this podcast to die, please head on over to patreon.com/holysmokespod. Our Patreon is super worth it. I'll tell you why. First of all, I've already recorded 26 episodes, so you're guaranteed a constant stream of quality content. The episodes on Patreon have no ads, so if you hate this part, subscribe to the Patreon. You'll never hear me promote anything ever again. We're going to have monthly bonus videos, exclusive videos you can't get anywhere else. That includes unreleased episodes of Stand Up for Plants, bonus Scoochie Boochie content. This month's video is called May I Tube. It's a very strange thing I made in the depths of quarantine. And then finally, I'll throw your name in the credits as a thank you for being a part of the flock. Thank you for helping support Holy Smokes with Scoochie Boochie. Let's get back to the show.
All right, where we last left off. Boop. I got through most of Genesis 1. We did the various days, the lights. It was wet, fish, birds.
Yeah. We didn't even get to people, did we?
And then, I'm glad you asked. So that was the end of 5th day. We got bird and fish and seas and sky and sun. It's good. God's like, let's do tame animals, wild animals, and reptiles. And that's what happened. It makes a distinction. We talked about that. It was like ox versus like cow. Did I tell you the thing about the French origins of the meat words? So like, you know how we have a word for like beef, but then also cow?
Sure.
So, or like ham and pig?
Yeah.
That separation started when the French, I think, conquered England. So they were like rich, and all the like French people would talk about it as the meat because that's how they'd experience it. So a lot of our words for the meats are like French, like beef. And then the poorer English living under them were taking care of the animals. They had like the words for the animals, like cow and stuff. And then we just ended up keeping both.
Jeez. Amazing that these... Yeah. I mean, I certainly believe it, but amazing that rich people would not have any use for a word outside of their realm. You know, it's like, I'm not concerned about what this is before it's this, because it's this now.
Beef is so much more important in my life than cows, I will say.
Yeah.
And I'm blessed.
Me too.
So much more.
But, boy, I like to think about cows sometimes.
It's not like the French aren't allowed to know about them. I don't know. The more we talk about it, the more it seems made up.
I mean, ignorance is bliss, though, I suppose, because, like, you know, I would have loved to not have seen that animal. I mean, I'm glad I saw it, but, like, any animal rights documentary is god-awful.
I don't put myself through that. I'm like, no, I know it's fucked up. Yeah, I don't want to.
They were so far from that, they don't even have the word for it.
They didn't have the documentary. Documentaries hadn't been invented.
No.
So he's like, yeah, pop off, have a bunch of kids, fuck up the animals, do what you want, eat it up. God looked at what he had done. All of it was very good! ! This translation is popping off.
Yeah.
They're going for it.
And that's, again, the Children's Bible?
This is Precious Moments.
Precious
Moments Bible from 1990-something. I don't give a shit.
The one that's popping off.
By the 7th day, he's like, I'm tired. I'm going to take a break. That's why the Sabbath is a thing. We chill one day a week because God did after he made everything.
I like that.
It's nice.
I like that he's admitting that he's tired.
How do you picture God chilling? Like, what's his like man cave look like?
I've been trying to ask myself how I spend my time on my off days. So let me think about what God's up to.
I mean, big chilling.
Yeah,
the biggest.
Removing himself from work, which is, boy, what are you left with? You can't use light or dark when you're when you're chilling because you don't want to think about work.
Yeah,
I get it.
No emails, no rain, no storms. Damn.
So you're in a void. I mean, I like sensory deprivation chambers.
Maybe that's
actually.
what it is.
That's probably what it is.
What is the opposite of God doing his thing?
Yeah.
It's like nothing at all.
But to be fair, I mean, you're not your brain's not hanging out in a sensory deprivation chamber. That thing's bouncing off the walls.
Oh yeah.
But your body is at rest. What can we say?
Maybe he's like, he might have like a social thing, like he's in like ultimate frisbee league or something. That's how he relaxes because he got the energy.
I would love that. Unfortunately, opens the door to saying that ultimate frisbee is ungodly, but I like that thought. Not of the Father. Something otherworldly, and for which he could participate when he wants to get away.
Yeah, he has to go to hell and see if they got a game going.
That Magic the Gathering. He's allowed to play it. Oh, dude.
What?
That's what he's up to.
He's playing Magic?
He's playing cards. He's playing deck building games.
He's like, okay, I'm gonna tap Rhino Spirit, which brings back Undertaker from my grave. That's tapped. I'm gonna spend.
I could also believe RuneScape. You know, something that's like very like bare bones progress. Like I think even God, because you know why would he make everything if he wasn't in some way unsatisfied? You know, like other why do all this unless you want to?
And it's like it took like a long time, and there's like iterations of it.
Yeah, and the idea is that like progresses, like we progress it in his name and for him.
Mm-hmm.
So that would lead me to believe that he would love a game where it is just on the simplest terms, you click something and a number goes up, and then once it gets to the certain number, you see that it goes up. That's it. And then it goes back around, you bring it back up again. I could see him being into that. Is all
I feel like if God does play RuneScape, you're definitely made in his image in that way.
Wow.
So then he makes a specific garden, Eden, and he takes a handful of soil and makes a guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, dirt, that's a guy. Gives it life, bloop, puts him in Eden, Sim style. You live here now. All kinds of fruit. There's 2 trees in the middle of the garden. One gave life. The other gave the power to know the difference between right and wrong. Tree of everlasting life is usually called, and tree of knowledge of good and evil. These are the 2 trees.
Wow, I did not know there were 2.
Special
I just thought there was the good and evil.
Yep.
Tree.
And then there's some river stuff. They're like, hey, there's 4 rivers. Names them. My favorite is the first one. It's like the Bashan River that flows through the land of Havilah, where pure gold, rare perfumes, and precious stones are found. There's a little like loot drop.
Oh wow. Okay.
They pinged it on the map.
Yeah.
There's a cache over there. Do we want to get that?
Wow, precious jewels and metals. Okay.
Hot tip, perfumes. It's like
Fumes. Yeah.
I love how important perfume is in Bible times, because it is a reminder of how stanky it was, dude. It was just the sweat and the like literal dust and dirt for just days.
Do you think they were? I mean, I guess they were wearing it, obviously, and that's a status. But I imagine they were just smelling. Like there's so few ways to just smell something good in that time.
Yeah.
There's sewage everywhere. Everyone smells bad. You would just sit in your room and just like spray it and smell it and be like, "This is awesome.
It's better.
This is great." I would almost think it'd be wasting it to wear the little perfume you have out in the medieval world.
Do it somewhere where you're gonna be around there a while.
Does medieval?
This is like pre-medieval. People call
Pre-medieval,
call it biblical times.
Exactly. Okay, biblical times is obviously more accurate.
Which is funny because they didn't know that. They were just like, these are just times. And then later, when a book was written about it, it's like their whole era.
I'll tell you who knew the people that were writing it.
Facts. They were making sure it was Bible time. He's like, okay, quick ground rules. You can eat from any tree in the garden except for those 2. Tree of life, tree of knowledge of good and evil. Well, he's also like, if you eat either fruit, you'll die today. It's like before the day is over. Fucking got it. And then...
That's what I'm talking about. Why wait? Why wait 2 years? Why don't let him eat this apple and give him a disease. Take him out. I like this already.
And then Lord's like, it's not good for a man to live alone. Which, can we do a scene which is what God was seeing that made him decide fellas can't just be just one fellow alone? Like, it's too weird.
Yeah. Wow. This is quite the time. I was just talking about this with somebody. Great.
What's
Let's
that?
do it. Men shouldn't live alone. They shouldn't be allowed to live alone. It's simple as that. We can't handle it.
We get so weird.
My
My roommate left for a week, and I started a podcast. I started this podcast.
There you go. Yeah, here we go.
Okay, yeah, he's just... So I just... Check this out, Angels. I just set this guy in the garden. We're going to see what he's up to. He looks like us. Okay, he's kind of picking something out of his teeth. He's kind of just looking at a pond.
Oh, dear Lord.
What's up?
There's a woman that I keep seeing out my window, and I've started to wonder if maybe she is walking in front of my home for a reason. Maybe, I just speak to so few people that I've just kind of got in my head about this, So I see this woman walking by my house, and she's just walking her dog. But I think maybe there's a reason I should talk to her. I think maybe I've convinced myself that she wants to talk to me too. So, God, I'm coming to you, and I'm just asking you: should I invite her into my home in a way that makes her feel like maybe she can't say no.
No, what the fuck? Where did we get that? No, language.
Well,
Sorry.
I've just been alone for a couple of weeks, maybe a month, and it's just.
Bud.
It
No.
seems like
Huh?
it just.
No. Yeah, you have to just know people. You don't know people. You're just alone. That's where, if you want lady stuff to happen, you have to just know some folks.
No, you don't understand. I go to work and then I come home. So
Yeah, there's no part of that where you should be meeting women.
Exactly.
You shouldn't just get the ones that are near your house. Nope. That's like a trapdoor spider.
Well, can I explain what my reasoning is?
Sure.
I feel as though when my options are limited because of my own choices, I don't get out much, and that's on me. I feel as though it becomes my obligation to make much more serious the very small and insignificant and sometimes non-existent relationships that are around me. And for that reason, I do get a little obsessive, and for that reason, I ward people off, and then it becomes kind of a vicious cycle from there.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a good analogy to explain this.
God, I'm wondering if I need a roommate.
That's a step. That's knowing at least one person. I am worried that you're going to say it's like a lady you see on the bus or something. Is this like a friend of yours already or someone you have some real connection to?
The bus driver did look at me.
Oh,
and
boy. So this is hilarious. I don't know if it's just his translation. It's kind of driving me nuts. I kind of want an NIV.
We can cross-ref.
Okay, Genesis 2:20. Because he makes animals and birds and brings them to the man to see what he would name them, which is kind of like AI. We were like, let's see what names it can come up with. God made a guy and then was like, let's see what he named shit. So we got to just be like, Boston, donkey. He was just making sounds.
Yeah, wait. So how is? Sorry, I want to find this too. Yeah. So how was it read that they? Read to me again.
So we haven't even got to the part I actually need the cross reference on. Anyway, it's the end of that verse. So he has to name him. And then it says, none of these was the right kind of partner for the man, which to me just immediately makes me think like he plugged a porcupine, no dice. He piped a lion, not even close.
The right kind of partner for the man.
Yikes. They got close with the dog. Vis-a-vis man's best friend, not porking. But he's like, nah.
We're still going to make the dog horny, though, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna...
So I'm looking for the end of 220. Does it also say that thing about none of these was the right kind of partner for the man? Like these.
Yeah, here we are. Is this
Bounce? Take a look here. So that's chapter 21. We want Genesis 2.
I could be right.
So chapter 2, which is a big number, 21.
Surely I can navigate this book.
You were way off. So Lord God. It says, but for Adam, no suitable helper was found. See, that's very different to me.
It's very different to me. Helper does not at all condone that he's going to have sex with them, but helper does condone that they are beneath him.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. The OT is not the most progressive book you'll read. That's for sure.
Okay.
Women have a tough go the OT.
Clearly is popular. What can I say?
And so he has the guy go to a deep sleep, yoinks out one of his ribs, makes a woman out of it. Mm-hmm. Ladies, you're made of a dude rib. I want my baby back. That kind of works.
Part of me thinks you set up this whole podcast to say that.
Just thought of it, and I'm so excited.
Really?
I didn't when I read it. I swear to God.
That's great.
I am so happy. I've been waiting all day for that, and I did not know I was.
And you can use it forever, which is the great thing, because this doesn't get old. This is just as relevant today as it always was. So that is a joke that will stand the test of time, along with the book.
And so when the guy sees her, he's like, oh, here's someone like me. She is part of my body, my own flesh and bone. She came from me, a man, so I will name her woman. So we got to name him, too, low-key, which is crazy, to just name someone and then hang out with them and kiss him.
I mean, that absolutely tracks. There's no way it would be an effect off man if it wasn't named by a man. That part's easy.
It wasn't written in English, though. So I don't know if it makes sense in the original language. Like, is their word for woman also just man with a little extra thing on it? And is that true for most languages?
Great point. Great point. I wonder that too.
Because in English it's like duh, but it's like, well, I don't. This was actually written in English.
Oh God, I took French for so long. What's man and woman in French?
Woman. You just do it soft. Lorm.
It's like why I only knew garçon.
Then the text says, like, so after his, like, quote, it's like, so that's why a man will leave his own father and mother. He marries a woman, and the two of them become, like, one flesh, like one person. So that's, like, a little, like, and that's why marriage. And that's also been a huge verse that people use in, like, arguments against gay marriage. It's like, it says man and woman. It says. Because there's not actually a lot of commentary about that in the Bible, but, like.
Right. And it's, yeah. To even get to that passage, it's so early on, but to even get to it, you don't have any other questions about any of these other parts? You're gonna,
like what?
The rib?
You can make a whole guy. We know how to make babies. It's not from a rib.
And if we were to do that today, they would say no, don't do that. If scientists were like, "Yep, there's not enough women in the world. Actually, men are overpopulating the world. Sorry, so we're gonna start taking men's ribs from their bodies and cloning women off of them." I guarantee you, Christians would be like, "Don't do that."
I feel like it was like maybe this is like an old wives' tale kind of thing, but like I always heard then the follow up to that when people would talk about this verse, would be like, "So that's why all men have one less rib," and that's not true.
Yeah, wait, what? Do we do?
Yeah. I think a lot. I don't think we do, dude. I'm gonna look it up later.
We do either.
We'll put that in the PTI segment, but like I think that's just straight up not. I mean, you can count them right now, dude. We're pretty skinny.
More importantly, even if we do, who cares?
I just think it's so funny that it was like, if it's not true, that's hilarious. Because what an easily disprovable thing.
Absolutely.
It is funny, like, so the church I grew up going to, it's like a college town, so there's like a decent amount of like faculty there, and there's like a PhD in chemistry who's like for sure like 7-day creation for sure, and it's like you know how old shit is and can be, you have to. You have a PhD in chemistry, and you're like, it says fucking 7 days, and it's like I think it's cooler if it took a long time, dude. That's a way sicker way to do it. If God had that kind of patience, played RuneScape for trillions of years. That's way sicker and more impressive than just like, oh, he worked for a week? I work for a week every week. Bro.
Yeah. Or that like this would have come on the backs of like many, many other planets that were like testing out, man.
Man, sorry, I gotta get my mouth out of the gutter. All I heard was come on the backs. And it completely took me out.
Yeah.
Say the rest of the sentence
again. I did say that, didn't I? Huh.
It's also a smut cast.
Yeah, that's a lightning for us both, unfortunately. Mine's accidental though.
I just narked on you. You said come. Language.
Damn. I feel like that was. I mean, maybe you can tell me this. I remember it being like weaponized a little bit as a kid. What? Of like, you said something bad.
Yeah.
You're done, dude.
Language.
Like, it's over for you. You said it and you can't take it back.
That's another thing that a lot of people get wrong. Is the commandment about not taking the Lord's name in vain. Mm-hmm. A lot of people think it means like don't say God damn it or oh my God, but those are English phrases or whatever. It really means like don't do bad shit and say it's because God told you to or it's for God.
Sure.
Don't make a huge parking lot and level an endangered swamp feather.
Sure. Kind of like I've always thought about that rule with the you can't wear a flag. You're not supposed to wear the flag, but like everyone does. You know, like it's sacrilegious. Well, not sacrilegious, but you know, it's unpatriotic to wear a flag. Mm-hmm. But it's on everything.
Yeah. Very popular merch.
Right, but I'm sure the real rule. Obviously, no one cares about that. The real rule is like, don't drape yourself in a flag and drag it on the floor while you're doing it.
So like, look, some of you are gonna be wearing you're gonna sweatpants your way into the speedway,
right? And
that's just not respectful to Old Glory.
Yeah, I mean, talk about the unwritten rules of the country. A lot of rules about the cloth. And any cloth too. From the party city, we should respect it just as much as the 40-foot one over the White House.
It's just clearly a superior flag. The one in Party City is, first of all, made in China, which is funny.
Yeah, sure.
he tells him is like, so there's the tree of the knowledge of good and evil.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't know what good and evil are because he hasn't eaten from the tree yet. So he basically goes, that's the tree that helps you tell the difference between blarp and flurp. And he's like, kind of seems like I really want to know that.
Big time. Kind of seems like either way it goes, I need to know.
Okay.
I need to figure out.
Sure. And I'm here for what? For forever?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do that eventually for sure. It's kind of like the gun in the first act thing. If a forbidden fruit appears in the first act, that's getting chomped.
You're exactly right.
I also like, if there's one part of the Bible I would have wanted to be there for, it's when we got to name all the animals. Because that'd be the most fun afternoon. Because, like, you just, anything. You're just, the thing about names that's nice is they're never wrong. You know what I mean? Like, you can make an AI try to come up with, like, prose that make sense and it can feel wrong or whatever. Or like, just, it can be straight up, like, wrong. But, like, a name is never, like, incorrect. Like, if his name is Nub Butterdut, like, that's his name.
That's right.
So to just sit there on the, like...
And he's nailing every single one of them, yeah.
Just, like...
Can feel good about all of them.
Kicking it on the shores of Pangea. And your girl... There's no girl there to be like, don't call it fart sack. And you're like, it's just me and the boys. It's me and my wolves. That's fart sack.
And I feel good about wolves, too, by the way. Do you have a favorite?
Oh, dude, wolves is pretty good. My favorite Pokemon is Scyther.
Right. So then...
It's not really... Like, it's like a locust? What animal is that? It's too big. What's my favorite animal to say?
Frog?
Oh, that's good. Wait,
Frog.
do it ASMR style.
Frog. Frog. Yeah, that's plenty.
Chinchilla. That's nice. That sounds
Nice.
delicious. I don't think it is, but...
Cheshire Cat? I mean, that's a character, I realize, but...
Alice in Wonderland. Let's do one more improv scene. What do you got? Any? I've been doing all the prompts.
Can we do an eighth day? Can we do if we are...
It's Monday.
It's Monday, and, if it is said to be that the gods are, maybe a congress of entities, maybe a Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Could we be two of the three? And
Yeah.
maybe just talking about what's next.
So, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You have a good Sunday? Hit the links.
I was actually, my wrist hurts, but I did do like a bunch of runs of law runes on RuneScape, so I feel pretty good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, big stockpile for what I'm like planning later. It's
What do
all like
You doing the Leaves of Ventusora line?
the quest line. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm getting ready for it.
Oh,
But that's what I mean.
I heard
It's
it's fun. It's kind of a grind, but I like
I just don't want to like get wrapped up in like going back and forth for teleports. I just like want to have everything like, ready to go.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, my wrist. It's funny. I was gonna say my wrist is killing me too because I was playing Ultimate Frisbee
Oh yeah,
with Lucy and the boys, Lucifer.
Yeah,
I
no.
didn't need to explain.
right.
There's not a lot of guys we know.
No, yeah, I should have gone. I always feel guilty when I'm by myself, but I need the rest.
No, you definitely.
need
We
the
did. We made everything last week. Was it busy last week, or is it just me?
Yeah, no, yeah.
It's not like we were
definitely.
busy the whole week.
The whole week.
I cannot wait for. I did nothing, dude. I had a nice rot. Oh my god, a
This is
Sunday
what I'm excited
rot.
about. Yeah, this is what I'm excited about because I want to check in on this guy. Like, what's I up to, right?
Oh yeah, dude. I you'd be surprised. Like, Devil's not that good at Ultimate because he's like he's aggressive and he's like cunning and stuff, but he's not in good shape, dude. Cigarettes, every drug, he's eating bad. He was eating a McFlurry on the bench, dude. I ran right by him.
Yeah, it's like you don't want him face guarding you because admittedly he's okay at that, but like everything else, he can't keep up.
Yeah,
with,
and also when he is face guarding, if don't go high because his arms go up and then you smell and like he's a stinky guy.
big time, and that's exactly what he wants. So that's why he's good. Like that, that's
It's the stink is like a big part of his defensive game.
yeah. But just stay on the sidelines, stay light. Like
Yeah.
you're fine.
He's got some speedy little devils though.
You're fine. Oh my God.
What's he doing? Also, don't take my name in vain, bro. Thanks for watching, folks. You got anything to plug?
Yeah, sure. I'm nope.
Well done. Just like we discussed. I'm
Just-
gonna offer you. You don't plug anything.
Nope. You can see me around.
Oh, come on.